All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this morning with a awesome message. And this message is long overdue, being so I'm going to come from the instruction book, the instruction, not instruction. How would I say it? Yeah, I guess I can say study guide, the King James Bible. And I want to go into it. And I know there is things that's been smeared and moved over here and moved over here and broken all kind of ways, but I'm going to bring it into what I call and what I know is spirit and truth. And I'm asking the Ruach HaKodesh to help me here, because as I awakened this morning early, and I realized I lied there in the bed, and I realized the Spirit was teaching me while I was lying there. And I want to give you what he said to me. He said to me, Deborah, when it says ask, when it says seek, when it says knock, it says ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. The Father said that these, Deborah, are also action words. And because a people understandeth nothing in his order, y'all took me somewhere I never gone before, because I always stayed away from the church when it was saying tithes and offering. Did I give tithes? Did I give offering? Yes. But I still stayed away from fully understanding it and fully believing it. Oh, yeah. So when they came out about 5 years ago that it's no such things as tithes and offering, they were telling the truth, but they were telling a lie. They were telling the truth but they were telling the lie. Now, let me explain something. The Spirit of the Most High said, ask, seek, and knock is an action. It's what one does or do as action. So therefore, when you seek, you're not just seeking to be seeking. You're not just asking to be asking. You're not just knocking to be knocking. Your action or seeking a response. He said many out there have not received a response from him because of their actions. They have taken on the actions and have applied it into themselves and into the world. So when they want to know something, Deborah, they ask. They ask themselves and they ask the world. Deborah, when they seeking something, they seeking it from themselves and from the world. Deborah, when they knocking, Deborah, when they're actually knocking, they're knocking at their own door. And hoping that the world will open their door up to them. He said, you tell people all the time about actions. But guess what? These are some actions that I wanted them to seek after me. Ask me, seek me, knock at my door, and I shall answer. But instead, they first and foremost go to themselves. So when you're talking, Deborah, about pride and ego and self-centered, this is why they're self-centered. This is why so much pride in them. This is why so much ego and boasting. Because they first seek, ask, and knock on their own understanding, their own door of themselves. Because they think they got the answer to it all. But my seeking and asking and knocking, you don't have the answer to. That's why you seek it. That's why you're asking. That's why you're knocking. But he was explaining to me they knock on their own door, which is their flesh, their own self. And that's the second step is ask the world. They're looking for the world for the answers. Okay? So that was something he gave me. So when you're speaking, Deborah, you're talking about actions, you really don't know the power that rests there in the actions that I know their heart from. Because I myself seek the actions of their heart. See? Why people thinking it's about between them and them. They do. They think it's between them and them because it's not between them and Yah, it's between them and them. Said the Most High Yah. All right, I'm getting it now, Father. You pouring it out. You making it make sense here. The Father was telling me about Mother Earth. He said, Deborah, Mother Earth birthed everything. And yet, that which she birthed respects her not. You see? She has to bring forth all things and have to deal with all things that come forth from the earth. Just imagine the Most High looking at us, women, as a mother. Birthing forth alcoholics. Birthing forth drug dealers. Drug addicted. Birthing forth a murderer. Birthing forth. Out of the earth come all kinds of wickedness. But yet, the earth is still yet mother. Mother nourish and take care of everything she birthed, even if everything she birthed have no respect for her. The one that brought it forth. He's showing me. Be careful. Thinking that people will respect you as a mother, you as a sister, you as a grandmother, you as a friend, you as a prophetess. No, they won't. I created the whole earth and called her mother. So mothers out there, don't look for respect from your children. If the earth don't respect Mother Earth, they ain't gonna respect you. Because you was the second mother from the earth. Even that which you brought forth, you labored to bring forth, like the earth groan and moan, because it's the mother that sees what the earth has brought forth is not good. And she moans even when they have to go back into the earth in which they come from. Mother Earth birthed all things. And just because Mother birthed all things don't mean it's Mother's fault. Mother Earth birthed all things because Yah created her to be the mother that brings forth all things, but not loud for all things. She's just like a queen, when like unto a flesh mother. The flesh mother in the tribe of Judah would never get it. because they still don't understand it. But I like to say this. Someone asked me a question about something I said when I said that Europeans and Caucasian people are in a heap of trouble in these days. I mean, in trouble like trouble ain't never been in trouble before. Woo! No, you didn't say that, Deborah. Oh, yes, I did. They're in trouble like trouble ain't never been in trouble before. How about that? How about that? And they asked me, what did I mean by that? And what bothers me about the question, it's not the question itself, but it takes a spirit of an individual to ask such a question from someone who's been on here 7 years speaking spirit and truth. And when I speak spirit and truth, it does not mean I'm speaking only regarding my nation, my tribe. It's like, as long as they hear you bringing melanated people down, or African Americans down, or Black, or the tribe of Judah down, they have no problem. They see you righteous. They see you upright. They see you just. They see you to be who you say you are. But the moment you step in their realm, is not that the word? That's the word for you. That's the one that's going into hell in a handbasket. They're gonna bypass the throne. They gonna bypass the throne. Why? Because what people did not understand throughout the times I've been on here, and then the spirit already let me know people don't. They just be on here for the hell of it. They just be on here for the hell of it. Because they don't understand that if I'm saying something, don't wait till it apply to your race and you question what I say. Question what I say when I'm saying it to all race, to all races, or to whoever I'm speaking to. Don't question it when I say it to Europeans, when I've been saying it 99.9 to Judah. But it's questioned when I say it to Europeans. You know why? People are not where they think they are. That's why. It's sad, though. It's real sad. Because I suggest no one to follow Sister Deborah no length of time and be distanced, to be that far away that you couldn't understand what I was saying. Because if Yah is dealing with Judah by their forefathers, what makes you think those who are not the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob can sin and be the part to start it to the max of the curse to the end, but yet y'all ain't gonna do nothing to them. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing to them. They ain't gonna have no heart attack. See, it's rooted in their spirit. No matter how they try to change their flesh, the ways of the Europeans and Caucasian, it's in them, y'all. It's not coming out. It's who they are. It is so rooted to it go beyond the flesh. That means it's in your spirit, a place that you can't switch off and on. Because the question was, what did you mean when you say that Europeans and Caucasian are also are in a whole lot of trouble? They're in big trouble in this day and time. Baby, you've been in trouble before you even got here. Shit. See, it's hard to get through European people. It's hard to get through Caucasian. And I don't try a whole lot to get to them. I'm here for Judah. Why? Because they will stand with you, on the side of you, in front of you, and in the back of you. But you better watch yourself. You don't think I know that? You better watch yourself. You better know who's in the midst of you. For sure, for sure. Let me tell you why. To me, anybody that follows Sister Deborah that's in other nations, when they follow Sister Deborah, they are the ones that's supposed to be extraordinary, trying to get all the food of spirit and truth that they can. They should be the one that on the top of the pedestal trying to support. But when they're not supporting and they supporting based on their emotions and their feelings, they are not even who they think they are. That's the truth of the whole matter. Because you can get around someone and you can be around them and around them. Like I see a lot of the Africans going to marry those that's in China, those that's in marrying European men. What I feel in my spirit is so much danger for those individuals because they trying to live a hope that's not there. It's not there. It's not there because it's always something on the other side of Europeans that's keeping them or other nations that keeping them from being where they should be when someone like me comes on here. The support should be heavy. The lining up, what would I say, the unity with Sister Deborah, working side by side with Sister Deborah. Why? Because you're another nation coming in. And if you're another nation coming in, you don't understand how you have to prove yourself, like everybody have to prove themselves to you in the world. Yeah. They have to prove themselves to European and white people. And when they finish, they still don't get nowhere. They still ain't gonna see them no more than where they at, where they going. And that's nowhere. It's rooted in you, people. You can't get past it. But when you dip in and out, and every 1 minute you here, 1 minute you there, 1 minute you there, and your support is not really there. Anytime someone from another nation gives support at a distance, and at a distance means when you feel like it, because Yah know the needs. What did he say? Ask, seek, and knock. Those are actions. Okay, y'all. Don't think I'm disrespecting the Father. Don't think I'm disrespecting him because I'm not. When he gave that to me, he said, Deborah, ask, seek, and knock is an action. That's an action. But they seek themselves. They ask themselves. They knock on their own door. And the second door steps they take, they ask the world. They seek the world and they knock on the world door. You see? These are right then. You know what I said? I said, but Father Yah, you already know their thoughts before they ask. Father Yah, you already know what they're seeking before they seek. Father Yah, you already know what they want when they knock on the door. Father Yah, you see, letting the Father know that I know that the action of asking, seeking, and knocking is for you and not for him. For he knows when you're going to ask before you ask. He knows when you're going to knock before you knock. He knows when you're going to seek before you seek. So I'm saying, well, Father, but you know all things. He said, but Deborah, it's their actions that shows where they're at. It's their actions that shows where they're at. Even to the point where you sit and you say donations, offering. You notice they stand still like a dummy because they have no actions. They only answer their own seeking. They find it themselves. They ask to answer the question that they ask, that they have to ask. When they knocking, they open their own door, which is their fleshly door. Outside of that, Deborah, they'll step in the world. Ask, seek, and knock before they come to you, because through you is the door in which I told them. It is asking, seeking, and knocking. And if you can't come to the door that I've set there for you to knock on, if you can't seek after spirit and truth from what I have set there for you to seek after spirit and truth, if you can't ask from the servant in which I have set there for you to ask as an action, then you ain't who you think you are. And I was like, okay, Father, I get it. I get it. He said that I put something there for them to knock on, Deborah. I put a door, put something there so they can seek. I put something there so they can ask. And they find fit to seek themselves, to ask themselves, and to knock on their own door because they think that they are the door. They think they are the one that has the answer when you ask. They are thinking they are the one that could be found when they seek. It's a flesh thing, y'all. You're caught up in. So back to this here. That was the action. But my question to him was, where I was saying, I don't think I'm disrespecting him because I'm asking him about, I said, Father, you know all things. You know before they ask. You know before they seek. You know before they knock. You know it already. So why must they ask? Because we're thinking that the asking, seeking, and knocking, okay, is needing him to respond because you're knocking right now. And the only reason why I think he brought that to me was when I woke up this morning, I felt so grateful. I felt so grateful. I really did. Because I've seen Yah do things for me in the last 2 weeks that all I had to think it and hope for, he brought him forth. He just, bam! So that's why I think he brought to me this morning when I woke up about asking, seeking, and knocking. Because he already know what I need. He already know what I really want to ask for, what I really knocking on the door for, and what I'm really seeking. So because he knows that and he lives in me, he provides those things for me. In a sense, these 2 weeks, I realized y'all don't need nan one of y'all. Not nan one of y'all tells to do nothing for him. That's one thing. I'm like saying, but Father, that is so awesome. Because people are dragging themselves. And then he began to tell me about how the world is robbing them and taking from them, and they see that to be righteous. But this is where we're going to reside right here today. Not reside. We're going to rest therein. It's Malachi. And what I learned was all the time, I had no idea, y'all. I had no idea. All the time, y'all always wanted you to give a tenth and offerings. He always wanted you to give a tenth and offerings. You know, even to today, that's one of the hardest things for individuals to do. You know why? They seek, they ask, and they knock on their own self, understanding, their own wisdom, their own knowledge, their own feelings, their emotions. They seek themselves. So this is why he was saying this as far as they seeking themselves. And after they seek themselves, they seek the world. But what he showed me in Malachi, he had already put that in place. He says, so when you're talking this, you're actually thinking you're talking to teach them something. And guess what he connected with? He said, Deborah, back in the old, I set it up when the temple of worship, the place of worship, the place where they eat spirit and truth, the place where they have the light, the place where I will reside to give them what they need, was with the priests, the Levites. He said, it always been there. And you know what made me cry today? It almost made me cry when he said, notice how Satan stole the idea. That's why the Roman Catholics and the elites are the richest one on the face of the earth. They stole it. Yah gave it to the Levites, the priests of the house of Israel, Aaron's sons. Today, the Europeans took it. That's where you know that they are connected. Yes, the Caucasians and the Europeans, they're connected with Satan. So if you don't think Europeans and Caucasians are in trouble, you got another thing coming. I don't know where people get off thinking that Yah is going to discipline Israel and Judah, but then gonna let white people just get away with everything they doing and done and don't even understand. In courting for anything to happen, Yah is always in Revelation. From Revelation 1 all the way down, you notice he's telling you how he's coming from the bottomless pit. We know what's in the bottomless pit. So if he's not coming from the bottomless pit, what in the wretch behind is on this earth doing all this wicked and evil? Satan crew, the Europeans. That's a lot of people don't own that. They don't want to own that. They don't want to believe that. Believe that, because they put themselves in that nation to where they can't even get out. They would get out of spirit and truth. They would get out of righteous instead of getting out of that nation by spirit and truth. They ain't gonna get out by spirit and truth because they still got a heart. Just like Lot's wife, she still had a heart for Solomon and Gomorrah. That's why she died instantly. See, where your heart is who you are. So what he was explaining to me is something that was very powerful that threw me totally off this morning. He said, Deborah, the Levites were the priests. They were the ones that works in the temple as my servant, Deborah. Notice Satan got his servants, the Roman Catholics and the Jesuits, the elites. He got his synagogue and they worship him in his synagogue. And look at all the world give the Jews, the fake Jews, all the money in the world. Look at all the people give the Roman Catholic riches on the face of the earth. Why did Satan's work and my 12 tribe didn't? What happened to the priests that started since the beginning? How did the Roman Catholic get the power of priest and the wealth behind it? What happened to mine? You know what he told me? He said there was a people. He calls them Jerusalem as well. Israel and Judah, they were a people that he set grounds, covenant, laws and commandment, which is instructions and direction. Let's give the white man the laws and commandment, because that's what they set up this whole world under. But Yah set it up under instructions and directions. To who? The 12 tribes. So you know what he revealed to me this morning? He said, Deborah, guess what? If you ever wonder where I get rebellion, disobedience, and stiff-neck, if you do your study, it all is connected to a people who cannot follow rules. They couldn't follow the covenant. They couldn't follow the instructions. They couldn't follow the direction. So here we are. Let's go to Malachi. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, and I'm going to go on and start with verse 1. I didn't want to, but I think I got the time. In Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1. And we're going to go over in Nehemiah, and we're going to go over in Numbers. Why? I'm going to go right back to show you that the Levites, Aaron's sons, they were the Levites. They were just supposed to be over the place of worship. Israel were told, and Judah, that they had to give offering and tithes unto thee. But guess what? In Yah, he made them priests. But what were they in him? What were their position as far as heaven? They were the servants. They were supposed to serve as priests in the place of worship. So if they serve, they're there to what? To teach, to speak, to give different orders out of the temple to the people from Yah. That's what a servant is. But I'm going to show you where tithes were always connected and offering. It was always there. It was put there. And that's why he says stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience, because they don't ever follow the rules. And that's why I sit and say you can actually use that even to this very day, 2025. But it's worse. You see, they don't want to follow nothing. So what does that do for Sister Deborah? That helped me to see not only it's okay for you to keep speaking it, because when you speak it, Deborah, you still bringing light to all the darkness. So what? If they don't want to hear it, unsubscribe. Don't stop looking at Sister Deborah. Stop coming on here. Because I'm going to continue to see what people say when you always bringing up, what people are giving and what tithes and offering. People should already know. It should be in their heart. Let me tell you something, baby. You should always know. But you go in and out every day. Every day you one way this way, next day you this way, next day you this way. Tell me if that is not a disobedient rebellion and stiff neck of people all over the place. Because the lights are supposed to be set there upon a hill. That's why we can't teach the world. Because we always want to interfere with the light that's supposed to teach the world. Let's go to Malachi chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. Shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord, whom ye seek. There go that word seek. Whom ye seek. How dare you say you seek? And you seek yourself for your answers. Because you think the answers rest within you. And that's not, you know what? That's the way I see it. And I have seen it for many years. Israel and Judah believe that the answer rests within them. All they can say is, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I'm in there. That's their understanding of being in there. It's sad, but that's just their mindset. Okay? Now listen to what it says. Whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said Yah. Okay? Verse 2. But who may abide the day he cometh? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner, or refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap. Verse 3. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi. So he's telling you what he's doing to the sons of Levi. He's telling you he's equipping them to be the servants in the temple. He's equipping them to be the servants in the temple. And he says, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto Yah an offering in righteousness. That's how I feel about myself. I'm before Yah offering righteousness. I want to speak it. I want to think it. I want to feel it. I want to live it. I want to hear it. You see? So it says here that they may offer Yah an offering of what? Righteousness. Who is that he's saying that to? The Levites. Because he put in them those things which equip them as the brand to be righteous. Okay. Verse 4. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem. See, I told you sometimes you call Israel Jerusalem. Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto Yah, as in the days of old. That's what we're gonna go back to. As in the days of old, and as in the former years. Here we are in verse. That's my thing here. Oh, it sounds horrible. Here we are in verse 5. We in Malachi chapter 3 and verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment. And I will be swift witness against sorcerers, against adulterers, against false swearers, against those that oppress, hireling in his wages, and widows, and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, said Yah of hosts. Now let's read that again in verse 5. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against sorcerers, against adulterers, against false swearers, against those that oppress the hiring in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and turn aside the stranger from the right, and fear not me, said Yah of hosts. Now, these here are the individuals that he was speaking to in Malachi, who he's going to judge. He said, I will come near to you to judgment. And I will come near to you to judgment. And he began to put sorcerer, adulterers, false swearers, and those that oppress the hiring in his wages. Now, do you think he's talking about earthly job where someone is not paid? Do you really think he's talking about that? I'm gonna give you some time to think about that. Let's continue, and we're gonna come to that answer that. And the widows and the fatherless. So the widows has a husband that passed away, and the fatherless has not a mother, not a father. So those two not have a man in the midst that has been taken away, that should have been in the midst, that has been one has passed away that made her a widow. Fatherless, it's who knows where the father has gone. The widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, said Yah of hosts. Turning the stranger from his right is other nations. Okay, they have the right to be among us. Okay, as long as they are following the protocol of the Most High Yah. You see what I'm saying? They have that right, you guys. They have that right to be in the midst of us. Okay? So he's saying, and don't turn aside the strangers from the right, because there are righteous ones among us. Okay? There are righteous ones among us, and I can guarantee you those righteous ones also they would be the ones that really would be in this truth, because they are the strangers amongst Israel and Judah. So they know they got to be in line right. You see what I'm saying? So now in verse 6 it says, "For I am Yah, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." Verse 7, "Even from the days of your fathers." See, he always trying to get men to focus on the days of their fathers and the fathers. If they figured out, if they had any, what I would call any type of spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding, they understand that you missed the whole instruction, not study guide, when you have not locked in on the fathers, because the fathers is the way to find your way to the Father. Okay, the fathers is the way that you find your way to the Father. See, they thought the fathers, oh, I needed a father in home. I didn't have a father in home, so I ended up being a homosexual. I didn't have a father in home, so I didn't never know how to do this. I didn't never know how to do this. I didn't never know how to do this. But guess what? You had a father in the kingdom, even though you didn't have a father on the earth that shows you the way. You see? So, but the father on the earth was supposed to be a representative to you as the father in the heaven. And he did not, because he chose not. Not because it was a woman or they did this to the white man, did this to, it was all because that they chose not to follow the order of Yah. Stop lying. When you finish Israel and you finish Judah, you've been lying since the beginning of time. And you're still lying in the year 2025. It's the protocol of Yah that you have not followed, that caused you back then to be stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. You didn't become stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient when you got on the ships and came over here. No, the Father would tell you. No, he don't need to tell you. The truth has already been set free. You were stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient before, so that means you don't follow rules. So you over here not following rules either. But you're following the rules to help Satan build his empire here in the United States. You brag about you built this country. Show you built it. You was the same one riding on a snake all the time. Okay. So let's go to verse 6. Malachi chapter 6. Malachi chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3 verse 6. "For I am Yah, I change not. Therefore the son of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers are you gone away from my audience." You see what he's saying? He's letting you know your father went away from him. So have you. And has gone away from my audience, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, said the Most High Yah. But ye say, wherein shall we return? Yah is telling you to return to him. And you're trying to ask him, well, how can we return to you? Verse 8. Will a man rob God? Will a man rob Yah? Yet ye has robbed me. But ye say, where have ye robbed thee? Now this is supposed to be Yah saying this to Malachi. Where have they? You all ask me, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and in offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, For ye have robbed me, even the whole nation. I believe that. I'm with that. And then when I try to tell you all, Judah, I'm not here for the whole Israel. I'm here for Judah. I'm telling you what Judah has done, Judah is doing, Judah continue to do, and how Judah going down for it. Okay? So when you get here and you see where verse 8 says, will a man rob Yah? Yea, ye have robbed me. He answered it. But ye say, where have ye robbed thee? You ask me, Yah said, you ask him, where have I robbed thee? He said, in tithes and in offering. And I'm sitting here today trying to teach spirit and truth and the light in the eyes of individuals to understand that you serve two, Yah and Mammon. So if your Mammon is your Yah, that's what you serve. You're supposed to serve Yah with your Mammon, not serve yourself and let that be your God, your Mammon. That's why I was saying that when he says seek, ask, and knock, you asking yourself, you seeking yourself, you knocking on your own self door, which is your flesh, because you think you have the answer, which is your flesh. So listen to what he says. Will a man rob Yah? Yea, ye has robbed me. But ye said, wherein have ye robbed thee? In tithes and in offering. Ye are cursed with a curse. This is why. This is why what Sister Deborah says it never mean anything. It's because a curse has already put, a yoke of a curse has already been put there. Listen to what he said, for ye have robbed me. And that's why I try to tell people, you look at me all cockeyed, you looking at me, but this is the problem I have. Why come on this page? I wouldn't dare want y'all to see me come and sit before Sister Deborah and rob him right in his face. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare want to come on this page and sit and listen to Sister Deborah and rob at the same time. Yah. This is what he's saying. You all bring your tails here and you sit and you listen at the same time you're robbing. You're robbing. I gave that example, I think, a couple of years ago about having a restaurant. You can't go in a restaurant without even, watch this here, paying for your meal. You set your tail there and they order your meal. They write it down. They charge you for everything you're getting. They bring your meal to you. You eat that meal. You pay. And then you turn around and tip somebody for putting your plate on the table and giving you a glass of water or giving a refill on the soda. You turn around and tip them. You see? You see I messed up? You won't leave no restaurant. You couldn't go into McDonald's and think that you're going to order some food and sit down and eat free. So what this is saying is, listen to what it's saying in verse 8. Will a man rob Yah? Yes. 24:24. Yea, he has robbed me. Now I'm going to go into this and break it down into the spirit of truth. But ye say, where have ye robbed thee? In tithes and in offering. Now what can y'all do with your tithes and offering? He can't do nothing with it. But the Levites, who are the servant of Yah, can. Yah set up order. We tore down his order. We tore down it even greater in the year 2025 and 24 than we have ever. And we still yet tearing it down. And we think when he get us to the wilderness, that purging and that purging the rebels out and those who transgressed against him. This here, your transgression, baby. You're transgressing against him. That order, see, I didn't think of it like that. This order was put out in Malachi, before Malachi, and we're going to go back and we're going to see where the order was put out a long time ago. Satan took on it, started all of his priests. Now they rule the world. Why? Because the world took care of their own. They gave their tithes, they give their offering. If you see how the sisters have to join, they got to give all their wealth, their bank account, everything to the Roman Catholic. Y'all ain't asking nobody to do that. He said give up tithe and offering. And it's too hard for those who say, oh, we the Jews, we the people of the Most High, yeah, we the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob gave tithes and offering. So you see what I'm saying is that you ain't Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob because they are the spiritual seeds. The spiritual seeds follow the spiritual order. Hello. So while you sit your tail up here and portray you all that and some, keep your you all that and some. Oh, baby, it's raining out here. Ooh, it is raining. Okay, so here in verse 9, we in Malachi chapter 3 and verse 9. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even the whole nation. Because this is what happens when you do not support the servants of the Most High Yah. Okay, then therefore you ruin your whole nation. Because the order was given out way back in the old as far as tithes and offering to those who are serving Yah. The Levites were servants of Yah. And when they end up being crooked, what did he do? They died. They got rid of them. You see how Satan and his crew took it up? And this is what you see now, the priests today in the Roman Catholic. They know how to do it. They did it for Satan. They did it not for Satan, but they knew how they are his seeds. But they knew how to take what Israel and Judah forsake and dropped and left and disrespect. And they took it, and that's how they are ruling the world. You see that? And that's enough to say that's really sad. That's how they are ruling the world. And ain't nobody saying nothing. They're going to have control of your bank. They already got control over your Social Security, everything you own. They got control over. You think you got control. You ain't got nothing, baby. That's why they giving you the crumbs, why they taking the big lump. And when it all said and done, I heard a couple of people teaching it yesterday that people ain't even understanding. Wait until they take everything from you. That's the day that I know this coming. Now, when I heard them say it, they probably know it because they know what the elites got planned. But I'm saying it in the spiritual realm. That's what needs to be done, I think, to everybody who has been warned and still yet feel that darkness is greater than light. Okay, so here in verse 10 it says, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now wherein, said Yah of hope, if I would pour out the windows, if I will not open the windows of heavens and pour out blessings, that ye shall not have room enough to receive. Now, all of these things you must understand are spiritual blessings. These things where he's saying where there may be meat, this is spiritual, you guys. He's telling you, you obey me, this is what I do. So this is another way of how the Jesuits has gotten all the Catholics, the Jehovah Witness, not the Jehovah Witness, all the Baptists, the 7-day event or whatever it's called, the Pentecostal, got all these pastors teaching and preaching and taking offerings unto themselves. This is how. Are they giving spirit and truth? No. Are they bringing the light? No. They're giving you loud music, dancing, entertainment, and a lie. And people are paying big time for it. The storehouse is not a place which you've been supporting. The storehouse is a place where there may be meat for your spirit. In my house. You think y'all gonna put you some pork and beef in the church house? Where there may be meat in my house, and prove me now wherewith, said Yah of hosts, if I will not pour out the windows of heaven, windows of heaven, and pour out you a blessing, that ye shall not have room enough to receive it. The reason why people ain't worried about that type of blessing is because they think they are blessed. That's another sad thing, but that's okay, Father. You know all things. It's been going on for too long. And that's why I'm grateful that there is an end to it. Because people think they are blessed. It's going back to seeking, asking, and knocking themselves. They seek themselves. They ask themselves. They knock on their own flesh to get what they feel they need. Oh, I got it in the bank. Let me go get it. See, everything that they want and they need, they figure, I got it. I don't need to knock on his door. I don't need to seek him because within me, I got what I need to seek. Ask, I don't need to ask him for nothing. Wait till I get sick, then I ask him. But otherwise, I don't need to ask him. I got what I need. That's the flesh. Showing people that you are not in the will of the Father for eternal. That's just it. So it says, I will not open, see if I will not open up a window of heavens and pour out the blessings, and there you shall not have room to receive it. Verse 11, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sake. Praise the. Don't we need that for our children, our household, our family? Or in the days to come, you're going to need it, but where is yours going to go? You've been seeking yourself. You've been asking yourself. You've been knocking on your bank account, which is your door. Let's see who gonna pull up this time in this here tribulation, in this perilous time. Okay, I will rebuke. Where is it? I would, verse 11, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your grounds, neither shall your vine cast her fruits before the time in the fields, said Yah of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, said the Yah. Verse 13. Your words have been shout against me. Stout against me, said Yah. Yea, ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Verse 14, ye have said, it is vain to serve Yah. Praise the Most High Yah. And what profit it that we keep his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yah of hosts. That's a good point. I got a thought about that, but I was supposed to stop, I think, at 12. But just the idea. Verse 14. Ye say, it is vain to serve Yah. Now, why would it Malachi say that Yah say that that's what the people say? Because Sister Deborah said the same thing. Because people think that they self, it's just so much emphasis people put on their flesh, calling it spirit. They really think that that's the key. Them, their self, and then their spirit. They don't understand, baby. Who you are on the flesh is who you are on the spirit, in the spirit. Okay? So it says, and what profit is it that we have kept his audience? We don't have to keep his audience, and that we have walked mournfully before before Yah. People, you're out of order and you don't care, and it's okay. What I want to say to you, I have to go. I got so much to do, y'all, even though this is the Sabbath day, and I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this because I must get to. Let me go. No, I'm not going to. I'm supposed to show up, y'all, somewhere, and I got to take care of some real straight up business, but I got to go this. I'm sorry. So I want you to go to Numbers. Let's go to book of Numbers. Now we're going to Torah. And this is another thing that all the churches have robbed the Most High Yah. And he wasn't speaking to the churches, the Baptists, and all of them. They're under the umbrella of the Jesuits, which is after the pyramid. There is an umbrella under this, like under here. And that's where, under here is where all the churches that they have formed, the pyramid has formed and gave a 410, whatever that 3 or whatever that stuff they get, but has set them up to teach the church the lie that you're learning today. Okay. And to take offerings and tithes. It was supposed to be given to the servants of Yah, where there will be meat of spirit and truth and the light, not this stuff that they have fed you all for all these years. Okay. Okay. In Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, I'm going to press forward. I got a very important appointment, but I'm going to press forward. Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21. In verse 21, now you stepped over in what they call Torah. Okay. And this is where I was telling you, it has always been the will of the Father. So everybody at the sound of my voice, if you have heard and you gotten this far, you are in more trouble than you even can imagine. And then you know what? Your flesh ain't going to tell you to feel that thing. It's going to make you think you got it made. You still got the keys to the kingdom. Okay, so let's go to Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and it reads, and behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance for their servants, which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Wait a minute, hold up. So you mean the priests today, that's why they're wealthy? Yes, Deborah, because they stole my protocol. They took, Deborah, you know how they do it. They took what I say and they make it work on their end. That's how he deceived the world, to do everything I say. And Israel and Judah was to do everything I said, but they dropped the ball a long time ago, and they were the rebellion, stiff-necked, and disobedient ones. Even then, because the Levites, I think, even cut up. So you see, but when they got to the side of Satan, look who Roman Catholic, the Jesuits, the pyramid, all of them is lining up under the Catholics. They all work together into the oneness. Even the fake Jews, they all are Roman Catholic European people working together. And someone has the nerve to ask me, what do you mean? What rock you been under? I wouldn't be living today and not understand my nation or what my nation has done. If I can say it for Judah, you better understand where your nation. I mean, every last one of your tales. People even from Italy, from Italian, white, European, Oriental, African. Y'all better. Because Italy is the stomping ground for Catholics. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They in the fire already. What say? And they dancing, they partying. See, a lot of people didn't know that. And they don't care. And they shouldn't care if they line up with Yah. And they in the light. But listen to this here again. In Torah, one of the 5 books at the beginning, Numbers 18 verse 21. And behold, I have given children of Levi all the tenth of Israel for the inheritance for their servants, which they have served, even the servants of the tabernacle of the congregation. But then you got, I can't say everybody, But I will say to you all, I got two people that I know for a fact. Their actions speak louder than words. They're the only one that does it out of the right heart. I want them to see this, that being a servant of Yah and representing the will and the light and spirit and truth of Yah, and serving and making sure the food is put out so that we may have meat in the place of worship. Everybody knows that the church everybody's coming out of the church. Now, Israel and Judah call themselves coming out the church, and the church is already in them. They stuck with the church because they think they are the church. So it's no need to go. You might as well join the Catholic Church. You might as well join all these other churches that's out here. You might as well join them because you just like them. So it leads me to understand Yah had already put that order in Torah in the beginning, where you're supposed to give a tithe. And it's even in here about the offering. He was speaking to Israel and Judah. This is where he told me, this is why I, from heaven, see them to be a stiff-necked, Deborah. I see them to be a rebellion and a disobedient because they don't follow none of the orders. Now, do you see? They don't follow none of them. But look at Satan's side. The whole world following Roman Catholics, the Jesuits over in Israel. That's all of them. That's all of them that serve Satan. Look how they give offering. Why do you think they're able to rule the whole world? Through the wealth that they took from your stupid tail. And still take it. And you don't have no problem with it. Because it ain't nothing you can do. You sold out. So verse 26, let's still stick with Torah, Numbers chapter 18, verse 26. Thou speakest unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up a half offering of it for Yah, even a tenth part of the tithes. Always offering up something or bringing forth something to represent an offering to Yah. Even a tenth, meaning whatever they get, they take a tenth of it and they offer it back to Yah. You see? Do y'all get it? But he intend for them. Listen to what it says, verse 26. Thou speak unto the Levites and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for an inheritance, then ye shall offer up and have offering of it for Yah, even a tenth part of the tithe. I see this word. It said have it. I need to look up that offering. And what that means. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah. And there was something being said there that I didn't too much understand. Nehemiah. That I didn't too much understand it, but I think I get somewhat of it. And I try to only get what's matching. Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 38. Chapter 10, verse 38. And the priests and the sons of Aaron shall be the Levites. When the Levites take tithes, and the Levites shall bring up the tithes into the house of Yah, to the chamber unto the treasure house. The Levites had the worship place to worship. Today, if we're on this devil platform and we're worshiping on the devil platform, this is the place where you're getting your spirit and truth, and you're getting your food for your spirit, and you're getting you're learning about how to go into the direction of the light and how and what the light is consist of. Or you're learning Yah, or you're learning things that you never knew and you never learned. This is the place where the offering and the tithes are to enter their in. Okay. But even here, as I read here and listen to this, Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 38, and I'm going to go to 39. Listen to this. And the priests, the sons of Aaron, these are the Levites, they are the priests. Now just imagine, do you think that they are the priests that we have today? No. Because they dropped the ball. They took and they just did all the opposite of what Yah told them to do. That's how Judah is. Not Judah, but the Levites, Israel is. That wasn't Judah, that was in the Levites. That's how they are. They don't have no respect for the word, nor Yah. His covenant, his nothing. Now listen to this. And it says, the sons of Aaron shall be with Levites. When the Levites take tithes, there they go taking tithes. Why? They're the priests. They work, they serve in the temple. And the Levites shall bring up the tithes and the tithes into the house of Yah, to the chamber unto the treasure house. Verse 39, for the children of Israel and the children of Levi shall bring offering of corn and of new wine and of oil and of the unto the chambers where are the vessels of the vessels of sanctuary, and the priests that minister and the porters and the singers, and we will not forsaken the house of Yah. That right there is explaining to you the place in which you bring forth offering. See, the offering was corn, wine, because back then they weren't bringing dollars. They didn't have dollars and so on, but they gave that which was worth money, you see, as an offering. See, people wants to, it's too late. It's too late to really be teaching this, but I feel Yah laid it on my heart when he taught me the other day about Malachi, and I got deep in it. I said, so this was going on way back. Yes, Deborah. That's how far gone everybody is. And when I got there, I thought that was pretty deep. And as you go on and read in Malachi, Nehemiah, in chapter 11, it goes on, verse 1 through 3, telling you about the offering and the tithes. And I'm like saying, well, what along the line that all this here just fall off like this? He said the stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. I just labeled them all three. If they don't follow rules, they never follow my rules. But look how Satan crew is following. They run the whole world. So our sister Deborah said, I hope you got something out of it, even if you didn't. Maybe it wasn't meant. And I say, shalom and shalom.